Hello and welcome to Simply Arts from Young Audiences of Louisiana. I'm Young Audiences of Louisiana teaching artist Todd Shaffer, and I'm here to show you a really fun project. So here it is, Simple Arts monoprinting using markers. So what is monoprinting? Monoprinting is a form of printmaking where you make one print. That's all you're working with. So what's printmaking? Well, printmaking is when you when you copy something, almost like a copier, but it's done for hundreds and hundreds of years, but you use printing presses sometimes, you use different things. Have you ever done a stamp? A stamp is a form of printmaking, and you can do that. It's sort of what we're going to be doing today, except we're going to be transferring that image, meaning we're going to put that image on some pieces of paper. And the great thing is, you don't need a whole lot of supplies to do this, and it is so much fun. So let's go ahead and get started, because I got a lot to show you today, and we're going to have a really fun time doing this. Okay, I'm here in my studio and I am going to get rocking and rolling on making monoprints. Remember, mono means one. So each time you do this, you're going to be making one print, and each print's going to be unique in its own way. So you don't need a whole lot for this. You're going to need some index cards. Now, you may have these around the house. If for some reason you don't have these, you can use just regular paper, but if you have some of these a little thicker, like some index cards, so much better, and they work out great. Okay, so we got that. You're going to need just some water-based markers. These are from Crayola, and I've got all my favorite colors in there. I've got my primary colors, and I've got my secondary colors. So I'm going to be using those, and I have 2 shades of orange today, so excited about that. I'm using lots of orange. Okay, we're going to need a paper towel or a cloth to wipe up with. I started wiping with this one already. You're going to need a sponge. If your mom has a sponge, if you don't have a sponge you can also wet a paper towel and just have a wet. You don't want it real wet, you just want it a little wet. So like, put it under the faucet and then squeeze it out really good, and it should be wet enough. And then today, for my printing press, I'm gonna use a cookie sheet. Now, you don't have to use a cookie sheet. You can use a plate, works really well. A plastic plate even works better. If your mom has a plastic plate you can work on. But for today, I'm using a cookie sheet. And these work really, really well. And as you can see, this process is really gonna be quick. Now, let me show you real quick. This is an example I started on of a print. Isn't that cool? So I actually didn't color this on, I printed it on, and I used all my colors. This part's so easy to do. But I'm gonna show you different things you can make with it. Now, when you're letting this dry, you can just lay it out on the table to dry, or if you want, if you have an old composition book, excuse me, you can put that composition book out and then just slide these between the pages. Because you're gonna wanna make a lot of prints at one time. When I did this last time with students in kindergarten, we did 20 prints at a time. We had 20 prints to work on, and it was so much work. But again, we had so much fun. So let's get rocking and rolling. Let's see how we do this. So the first thing you're gonna do is make sure this is nice and dry. I'm gonna give that a wipe down. Oh, you ever help mom with cleaning around the house? Such a nice thing to do. So when you wipe the counters down, you do like that. So let's start off with some cool colors. Let's see, what are my cool colors in here? I've got green, that's a cool color. I've got blue, and I've got purple. Those are my 3 cool colors. Now, how do you know if a color is warm or cold? Well, I always look at it this way. What colors would you find in water? If you were going to look at a beautiful river somewhere, what colors would you be looking at? Well, probably these. You would see some greens in the water, lots of blues, and maybe some purples. But those are really great colors. Sometimes you can have warm colors too that are these colors. So you could have a green that's a real warm colored green. So that would work under warm colors too. But for this, I'm just gonna do that. So I think I'll start with some blue. Now for this particular thing, I'm going to pick a little space in here, and I'm just going to color. Oh, that's nice. Maybe I'll do that. Oh yeah. I'll do a little square. Remember, when you're doing a marker, you always want to put that lid on the back on Crayola markers, just like that. Then when you're not using it, pop it on top, and you want to hear that click. That makes sure that marker's on there. That marker lid is on there, I mean. All right, so how about some green next? Let's use a little green. Oh yeah, maybe a little thin line of green. Now, notice I didn't go into this blue with it, but I mean, I could. I don't want to scribble too much because this can all get really messy on here. Oh, and then my last one, I'm going to do that purple. So let's see. Got to remember to put that lid on there. There we go. And then I'll put some purple right here. Now, I want to make sure that my card here, this is going to be big enough. So maybe I've drawn this a little too small. So I'm going to just scribble scratch all around here with some purple. Oh, my lid popped off. Well, let me pop that back on. All right. You know, the cool thing about markers, I don't know if you know, but if you use a Crayola marker, it has a flat side, so you can put like color down really fast. It also has a pointy side, so you can do really fine lines with it, just like that. All right, so I've got my printing press ready to go. I'm gonna put my lid back on, pop that, and then I'll push this out of the way for a second. So I'm gonna take an index card. Now, you could use the striped side if you want, but I like the plain white side right there. So I'm just gonna take this, and I'm just gonna press that on there. It doesn't have to be super wet. It just has to be a little wet. There we go. So now I've got this. Now here comes the fun part. I'm gonna put this over that, and I'm gonna press it. And don't worry about if marker gets on your finger. This is water markers, so they just come right off. When I was in art school, we had to use stuff that didn't come off real easy, and boy, was it messy to work with. My mom would have gone crazy. Oh my gosh. So look, guys, that's my fine line that I drew, and then that's my color. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I love it. I'm gonna put it over here to dry for now, and the next step I'm gonna do is I need to wipe this off. So I've got my paper towel. There we go. Just keep wiping, and it goes right away, all on the paper towel. Now, if you want to, you can take a little bit of water. If you have a little bit of water on the side, you can do that. Maybe for the next print when I clean it, I'll do that. All right, so let's move on. So I printed this one earlier. A print I did. And I'm just gonna demonstrate on this one. So I'm gonna use some warm colors now to make this look really beautiful. Maybe I'll keep this right here to sort of take a look at it as I'm putting that in. So let's see, what are my warm colors going to be? Orange, red, and yellow. I think of warm colors as colors that you would see when you're looking at the sun. If you look at the sun, or if you ever looked at like gone on a camping trip or something and you see a fire going, if you look at a fire, they usually have these three colors in them. So I consider those warm colors. Now, if you see a fire, should you stick your hand in it? Absolutely not, Mr. Todd. That's right, we don't do that. We want to make sure that we are always safe around fire, but it's okay with markers. So I'm going to start with, maybe I'll put my markers there. I'm going to start with my red. So I'm going to put that marker there. And let's see, I'm going to put some red around in here. Uh-oh, this sucker keeps coming off. There we go. Oh, I've got a lot of red over in there. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, that's going to look good. Uh-oh. And now I'm going to use some yellow. Oh, I love yellow so much. It makes me so happy. I don't know why. I just do. I love it. Don't know why. And then I'm going to use my orange. Now today, I have 2 shades of orange. Believe it or not, they look a lot alike, but this one's kind of darker, and this one's kind of brighter. I think I'm going to use the brighter one today. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to put that. Put my lid on, put my markers up. Now I'm going to push that out of the way. So this one's dried for the most part. I did it probably 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to take my sponge and dampen it. I'm going to pull my printmaking tool back in. Here we go. Gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. That is so cool. Oh, I love all the colors on there. Looks like a crazy rainbow. Now, I've got a little bit of space there, and I've got some ink still. Maybe I'll do this. I'll dampen this right here. And then I'm going to take this and put it right here. There we go. Now I printed that side. That side looks a little off. Maybe I'll take a little yellow and put some yellow down. And I'll dampen this end again, just a little bit. And voila! Oh, wow, guys, look at that. So cool. All right, I'm gonna put this over here to dry. So I'm going to take a little bit of water over here. So I just put a little tiny bit of water on my paper towel. I'm gonna give that a wipe, just nice and clean, and maybe I'll even dry it with the other side. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna use a black marker. Now I didn't use a black marker first because, I don't know, it seems like it would muddy up my colors, meaning I'll get them all kind of muddy looking. So I'm gonna take this one. This is one I did earlier, and it's pretty much dry. And then I'm going to do some crazy decorating. Now remember me showing you how to use that fine point? Well, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take my marker, and instead of using the flat black side, I'm going to use this. This is what I'm going to do. I think I will make just some crazy little lines. Oh my gosh, so much fun. Hey, do you know why seagulls don't fly over the bay? You don't, because they be bagels. I heard that joke from one of my students the other day, and I loved it so much. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a crazy. And you know, I could just do this with any color at some point and just make a print like that. I could draw a house or something like that. Now, I'm drawing it really big, so I make sure it gets everywhere. It's almost like kind of like crazy scribble scratch. Okay, so that's ready to go. I'm gonna put my lid back on my marker. I'm gonna push this up. Now I'm gonna wet this again. Oh, get it nice and wet. I wonder if any of the color comes off. Maybe a little, but certainly not very much. Okay, here we go, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Here we go. I'm gonna put it over it just like this. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna press it down. Right. Get those corners. Oh my Todd. Look at that. Oh my Todd, I can't believe that print. That is just amazing looking. I love it so much. I'm gonna cry. Not really, I'm just playing. All right, so I'm gonna put that over there. And I'm gonna take my damp side, give it a little bit of a white, and then give it a little bit of a dry. So, this is the one we just did. Remember that? That's the one we just did. So I'm gonna take my black marker again. And this, I'm gonna do some crazy stuff here. Maybe I'll put a bunch of faces. A bunch of smiley faces all over. I could do frowny faces too, they're funny. I could do a fussy face. I'm fussy. Let's see, what else could we do? Like a plain face. Like, what am I doing here? I don't even know. There. Now, I've never done all these faces before. I'm curious to see how it'll look. A big smile. Could be like all the kids in a story. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready to see? Let's do it. I'm so excited. So, popping my lid back on. Oh, heard the click. So, I'm gonna push that up. Now, I'm going to wet my monoprint. And what does monoprint mean? Just one. Because even if we're doing just one, we got a lot on this one print. We've done what they call 3 pulls on it. Every time you run a piece of artwork through the printing press, that means it's 3 pulls. So it means it's pulls. So each time you do it, we've done 3. This is our 3rd one. Okay. Oh. Pressing, pressing, pressing. Oh my gosh. But guys, that is so cool. That is so cool. I love it. Now, I'm going to show you something interesting. So, if I clean this off, and I'm gonna do a print, but this time I'm gonna write something. And I wanna show you, this is weird because sometimes you wanna write something on there and you can't really think about what you wanna write. So I'm gonna use my black marker and I'm going to write my friend Renee's name. So R, Renee, I think that's how you spell it, R-E-N-N-E, and that's how she spells her name. So, put my lid back on, clickety click, 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 and I'm gonna push it out of the way, and I'm gonna just wet this cloth. Now, what do you think is gonna happen if I print this on there like that? I wonder what it's gonna do. Okay. Do you think it's gonna work, or you think it's not gonna work? I don't know. We just gotta find out. We gotta experiment and find out. All right, so I'm pressing it on there. Okay, voila. Uh-oh, look what it did. It did her name backwards. So, wow. But what could I do to make it go forwards? This is really interesting. Oh, you know what I could do? Maybe I could write it backwards. So I'm gonna clean off my palette. We got a regular print shop going on in here. All right, so I'm gonna put Renee's name right up here, just like that. So I can see it. Now, why don't I write it backwards? I'm gonna put Renee's name backwards. So I'm gonna do a line here. I'm looking at this. Oh. E. N. That's an easy one to do. E. E. All right, let's see if that works. So we did it backwards, came out. So, pop my lid on. Oh, hear the click. Push this forward and get my sponge and get this wet. Now you could do, you get a stack of these cards, guys. You could do like 20 cards at a time. And while one's drawing, you can pull another one out. All right, here we go. Let's see, what's your prediction? What do you think? You think it's gonna work? I think it's gonna work. Totally worked. My end's a little funky, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, it totally worked that time. I hope I spelled her name right. I may not have, but anyway, it's a good experiment. So if you're gonna write something, put letters on something, write it backwards. You maybe write it on a piece of paper with a dark marker and then flip the paper over and you can see what it looks like. Sort of like if I took this and I wrote Todd, that's my name, and I wrote it really thick. Can I see it on the back? Oh, a little bit. Yeah, you can sort of see it right there. Yeah, so that's how I would have to write it. I would have to write it so it looks like B-B-O-T. But that's a way to do it if you want to do something backwards like that, which is totally fine. All right, guys, I've got one left here, so I think I'm gonna do. I just did cool colors on that. What if I took a red marker on this, and I just did some crazy scribble scratch? Uh-oh. Gotta clean this off. Remember, clean it every time. Because you're gonna be working on a lot of these, I bet. So, I'm gonna do some scribbly lines. Ooh, all over. Oh, I love to scribble, scratch. I love to scribble, scratch. Scribble, Isn't it fun to scribble, scratch? It's okay to do it on art like this. Should you do this on your mom's wall? Oh, you better not. Oh, you better not. There we go. All right, I'm gonna press this down. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is gonna look beautiful. All right. Now the cool thing is, does it have to be perfect? This is not about being perfect. Wow. That's crazy looking. I love it. All right, so I'm gonna clean this off. Okay, guys, these are the 3 prints that I made earlier, and I really love them. I think they're beautiful. But I'm thinking, what can I make with them? So I'm gonna push this out of the way, and I'm gonna whip out my construction paper. I haven't seen my mom for a little bit, so maybe I'll make my mom a card. So I'm gonna fold this in half, and then I could just put a print right on top there. Sort of find it in the center. Let's see. Guys, that is so beautiful. Let's see. Could the print go that way? Or should the print go that way? I don't know. That's a really tough choice. Why don't I do the print this way? So I'm gonna pull my glue stick out. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna pull my glue stick out and I'm gonna glue it. So remember, whenever you use a glue stick, you just put a little bit out like that. And I'm gonna get those edges nice and good. And now I'm gonna glue it onto my card. So find the center right there. Oh, wow, that's so nice. My mom's gonna love that. Oh, yeah. I've got a nice card. If you want to, a trick you can do is maybe put something heavy on top of it while it's drying. So you could take some other cards, put it right on top, and then put some markers on top of it to just hold it down while it dries. And that way it'll dry nice and flat. Another thing you could do is you could take these and tear them all up into pieces and make collages, or you could make a book of prints. You could do a beautiful book or something for your mom of all your prints that you made. Anyway, and remember, not every print has to have every color on it. Some prints could just have a couple of colors on it, or maybe they're just black and white. That's a really cool thing to do on a print too. But the most important thing is to just have fun with it. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun working with you guys today. So here's my final card I made for my mom. It's so beautiful, she's gonna love it. I'll write some crazy poem in there, like, roses are red, violets are blue. Let's go shopping, Mom. I need some more shoes. That's hilarious. She'll love it. And plus I need some new shoes. Anyway, this is Todd Shaffer. I'm a teaching artist with young audiences of Louisiana, and this is Simply Art's Monoprinting. See you soon.